versus green, cabochon. So we'll look at those first, and then we are going to look at the gemstones that are notably green. I went through and I bookmarked gems from the green section of the color guide that are notably green. So I kind of omitted things like moonstone, which can definitely be green, but I feel like its primary thing is that it has that glow, and then it can be a range of different colors. And then stones I think of as being multicolored, like opal. Oh, and then potentially, controversially, I am going to include turquoise in this section. Turquoise is kind of exactly in between blue and green, and I looked it up to see if, anyone had a strong argument for it being one color versus the other, and people were passionately arguing either way. But the general consensus was that it's its own color in between blue and green. But I thought we would do turquoise in this section because someone specifically requested that we look at turquoise in the next video of this book. So for me that was enough to decide to put it in this section. If we look at the blue gems in another video, we can just look at turquoise again. It's really both, I think. So we'll start with emerald. I feel like emerald is the king of green gemstones. But before we flip to that page, I just want to say thank you to everyone for always leaving such kind and insightful and interesting comments. And thank you for being so supportive of this channel. I love making these videos, so it's very nice to hear that people like watching them. Okay, let's go to King Emerald on 232. One of the most desirable gemstones, emeralds are the rich green variety of beryl, the mineral found in igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary rocks. Most emeralds have numerous inclusions and internal flaws, and these imperfections are unique to each stone. For jewelry, the brittle gem is usually faceted in its signature emerald cut, which is this one. This is a step or trap cut, which combines a rectangular shape with shortened corner facets, maximizing the emerald's distinctive green color and protecting it from external damage and internal stress. accent on the A. And I cannot remember what that does to the A sound. Emeralds are so pretty, and I believe it's one of the kind of most prized stones throughout human history. Cleopatra wasn't big into emeralds, but I've seen some people saying that a lot of the emeralds in her collection were actually peridots, another green stone, but it leans much more yellow-green rather than blue-green. This one leans a little more true green, almost leaning yellow. Oh, it says here that this cut was given an extra facet to remove a particularly bad internal flaw. Maybe it's on the bottom. This one is really richly colored. When pure, beryl is colorless. Traces of chromium or vanadium in the mineral cause it to develop a green color and become an emerald. A lot of gemstones are beryl. I believe blue beryl is aquamarine and pink beryl is morganite. Those are the two that I see the most at jewelers. Oh, and if you're new to the channel, I am a writer and I write a lot about jewelry. So I'm pretty familiar with a lot of inventory of various jewelers, not only from looking at the sites of people I'm working with, but I also kind of always researching and looking at what's going on with everyone. So here we've got a ballerina clip. Wow, the way those are set looks really interesting. The emeralds, they're square. I actually can't quite tell how those are set. Interesting, it looks really seamless. This would maybe have dark bronze. And here we have a cross made of emeralds. And then the brighter, more yellowy green stones are green garnets, demantoid garnets, which we will look at later. Definitely a notable green gemstone, but not in the iconic section because I think most people envision red garnets when they think of garnets in general. Well, here it says baguette diamonds, but those look round to me. But maybe it's the picture. Baguettes are long and square. seeing a lot more than normal lately. Here we have a carved emerald. These carved gemstones are cool. I feel like we don't see that many carved gemstones today. So yeah, I wonder, does it say what other stones are beryl? Emerald again, rough. Red beryl. Yes, there's morganite the pink. Gushingite. Heliodor. Aquamarine. You know, one thing that's good to know about emeralds is that it is brittle, like it says there. So a lot of the time, people use the hardness of a stone to basically gauge how durable it is and how well it might do set in something like a ring, which you're a lot more likely to kind of bump into stuff than earrings or a necklace. Rings and bracelets get a little more bumping potential. Emerald has a pretty good hardness of 7.5 to 8, but it's a lot more likely to crack than a lot of other gemstones that are the same hardness. And actually, I'm not sure if that's because of the natural inclusions or if it is something about the way the mineral holds itself together. But I do know, a jeweler might warn you about emerald for an engagement ring. You totally could get one, but you should know that it's a little risky for a stone that is a lot more likely to crack or chip. Peridot, which is a birthstone. It is the August birthstone. Emerald's a birthstone too. Is it May or June? I think it might be May. The name peridot is French, possibly derived from the Arabic word varidot, meaning gem. This variety of gem quality olivine has been mined for over 3,500 years. The Red Sea island of Sabargad, now St. John's Island, was the main source of peridot for ancient Mediterranean civilizations. The Greeks and Romans called this island Topasios, and so they named this stone topaz, although it has nothing to do with the gem of the same name. Peridot can range from pale golden green to brownish green in color. Rich green is the most valued of all. So here it is in the rough. It says that this one comes from Sabat, near Naran, Pakistan, the principal source of peridot. It is usually found in dry climates or recently formed rocks. It's got a mixed cut here, and a pair. Oh, and is this from the color guide or round one? Faceted round cut. Because peridot is doubly refractive, the back facets of this stone appear doubled when viewed through the stone, giving great depth of color. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that about peridot. It makes a nice pattern. The August born without this stone, 'tis said, must live unloved alone. Traditional birthstone rhyme for peridot. That's pretty harsh. I know some people say that wearing a birthstone is lucky, but saying that if you don't wear it, you live unloved alone is a strong statement. Oh, I really like it in this design. It's twisted strands of peridot beads. its fellow green gemstone. Cleopatra's collection of emeralds is now thought to have been peridot, and the ancient Romans described the gem as emerald of the evening, for the way it caught the dimmest of light. For centuries, the 200-carat peridots topping the lavish shrine of the three Holy Fathers in Cologne, Germany, were also thought to be emeralds. So these 5 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that thing about Cleopatra, I've read that a lot. My understanding is that it was maybe kind of a mix, like maybe they thought there were some emeralds and some peridots, but I don't know how long that collection survived, so who could say for sure. Here, in this darker peridot, I could definitely believe that was the same thing as an emerald. That looks a lot like an emerald that leans more to the yellow side, because emeralds can lean more yellow or more blue. Yeah, the double refraction thing is really cool. This is an interesting design. This gemstone can look so different. Like from here to here, to how light and bright it looks there. Peridot does have kind of an electric intensity. It's a really pretty color, but I've never really thought of getting a peridot piece because it's a really hard color for me to wear personally. Yellow and green leaning yellow are challenging colors with my skin tone. Ooh, this polished one is really pretty as well. I like how glassy it looks, polished. So our next iconic one is malachite. Page 107. show that linear texture, which I really love in malachite. My friends who are into crystals have said before that malachite is really powerful, but I don't remember what it is purported to do. I don't think that info is in this. Sometimes these do have information on kind of what, you know, the alleged properties are, purported properties are. I really want to see that cathedral. Do you think it'll be featured on the next page? Oh no, but we have a bunch of really interesting malachite carvings here on this necklace. The stones are carved with classical scenes. Oh, this hall in the Winter Palace in St. Petersburg, Russia, has malachite columns and fireplaces. I really like the way these beads on her necklace are painted. They look so glassy. Okay, and on to our last of the four gemstones, I think, of just being iconically green. We move to jade. I think jade can be more than one color, but I feel like it's so well known for being a specific shade of green. There are two distinct minerals, both called jade, nephrite, and jadeite. They have very different textures. Jadeite is made of interlocking, blocky, granular crystals, whereas nephrite is fibrous. Nephrite comes only in cream and shades of green, while jadeite comes in many other colors, and its pure form is white. The most valuable is emerald green, which is colored by chromium and is known as imperial jade. The name jade comes from the Spanish piedra de hijada, loin stone, named in the belief that it cured kidney ailments. Sorry to people who speak Spanish for how I probably butchered that. So here we have jadeite in the rough. And here is a polished jadeite stone in its most typical color. This lavender jadeite is really pretty. The caption says that it has brown skin caused by weathering. I think that color looks really nice next to the lavender. Nephrite bowl. The carving of this thin-walled bowl shows the color modding within the more limited color range, usually shades of green, typical of nephrite. Wow, that is really thin to carve a stone. Here it is in the oval cabochon from the color guide. Wow, this sort of cornflower blue one is gorgeous. It's a really soft color. It says it is a traditional Chinese pie disc. A thick circle of jadeite with a hole bored into the metal is said to be a medium of communication with heaven. Cosmic look so nice with these cool toned gemstones. This is a very fun brooch. A gold swallow with green nephrite heart. Okay, so those are the four that I think are iconically green. I know jade can be other colors, but I feel like if you ask someone to say what jade looked like, they would probably describe something very close to this. So let's flip through and I'll get the ones I bookmarked. First we have chrysoprase, and honestly I mostly want to talk about alexandrite. Although crystals of chrysoprase are not uncommon, the gemstone variety alexandrite is one of the most rare and most expensive gems in the world, with specimens seldom exceeding 10 carats. Alexandrite has the extraordinary visual property of appearing green in daylight, but red under tungsten light. Other forms of chrysoprase occur in green, greenish yellow, and yellow. Alexandrite was discovered in the Ural Mountains in 1830 and was named after the Russian ruler Alexander II, on whose birthday it was supposedly found. I wrote something about alexandrite the other day, and when I was researching it and seeing what other people wrote about it, this birthday fact was contested. It seems like everyone agrees that it was found in the Ural Mountains in Russia in the 1830s, but people were arguing about the date and about whether or not it was found on Alexander II's birthday. So that part might be one of those kind of legends that just makes for a good story. Even this book, they hit us with a supposedly, on whose birthday it was supposedly found. This cat's eye chrysoprase is really cool. Cat's eye gemstones are cool in general. I like the color of this one. It's blue and green, so it kind of looks like an elongated globe of the world, Earth. Alexandrite. Changing colors. The alexandrite variety of chrysoprase displays a color change from greenish to reddish when seen in different light conditions. Alexandrite appears greenish in daylight, where a full spectrum of light is present, but reddish in incandescent light because it contains less of the green and blue spectrum. The color change is due to chromium atoms replacing the aluminum in the chrysoprase structure. This causes intense absorption of light over a narrow range of wavelengths. So in the daylight, natural sunlight, and I think fluorescent light too, it appears to be green, and then in incandescent light, which I think is like a standard light bulb with a bit of a yellow tone, I think it looks red. Maybe candlelight too is incandescent light. It's a very cool gemstone. I think it got added as a modern birthstone option. There was a saying that pretty much everybody included when they were writing about alexandrite when I was researching the other day, which was emerald by light, ruby by night, or something along those lines. I think it can have a little bit of color variety, and sometimes the change isn't as exaggerated as this, but it really does look like an variscite is valued as a semi-precious gemstone for cabochons, carvings, and as an ornamental material. It says it's a kind of variscite that's local to Nevada that sometimes has black webbing. And it also says cabochons originating in Nevada that look like turquoise, but are in fact variscite, may be sold as turquoise. Variscite is porous and again this color if worn next to the skin. Oh yeah, so that's a problem. That's probably why you don't see this much in jewelry stores. It's challenging to not let your skin touch your jewelry. I suppose the easiest way would be in dangle earrings maybe. But it feels a bit high maintenance. Smithsonite. Smithsonite can be various colors, including yellow and pink. But blue-green is the most prized of all. It says it's sometimes faceted, but it's mostly polished for collectors. And it says it's too soft for general wear and jewelry. Here's a faceted one. It says it's superb quality, and it came from the Kelly mine in New Mexico. Okay, now we have turquoise, our standalone, unique color of its own. It's so beautiful. I know I have some earrings with little pieces of turquoise on them, but I haven't been able to find them lately. If I knew where they were, I would pull them out and hold them up next to the page. Oh, it says here this is an imitation stone. It's a little confusing. So, imitation and synthetic are the words used here. I wouldn't use the word imitation if this is a lab-grown, because then it would be still turquoise, but it would just be lab-grown turquoise. It's not really imitating it. It is it, but it's made in a different way. So synthetic could mean lab-grown, but I wouldn't use imitation for lab-grown. But this was written a long time ago. Not that this book is ancient. I don't know the original publishing year. But lab-grown gemstones have become way more prevalent even within the last few years. So even 5-10 years ago, it was a significant difference. And I don't know much about making lab-grown turquoise, but I know with diamonds, there's been significant progress more recently. I think especially with creating different colors. To my understanding, that's because of the technology, but I suppose it could also just be like maybe people thought the market demand wasn't there, but now the market demand is very much there for lab-grown diamonds. Beads made from turquoise dating back to 5000 BCE have been found in Mesopotamia, present-day Iraq, making it one of the first gems to be mined and cut. It is relatively soft and easy to work and can be polished, made into beads, carved, and used for cameos. For most gem uses, however, turquoise is cut en cabochon. It varies in color from sky blue to green, depending on the amount of iron and copper it contains. Turquoise is porous, and its color may deteriorate if worn frequently close to the skin. Interesting the way they described it there. So, it sounds like that's not as big of an issue for turquoise as for one of the gemstones we just heard about, because it says worn frequently and may. It says it ranges in color, but I do feel like this is all leaning blue, don't you think? Because I think it can lean much more green. Turquoise first came to Europe via Turkey, probably accounting for its name, which is French for Turkish. Even in the rough, it's very pretty. associate turquoise with Native American jewelry, because I guess that's just how I've most often seen it, because I'm in the United States. This is a very interesting brooch. It's a bow with a heart dangle and then a cross, little tiny cross charm. Well, I suppose I don't know how tiny it is. Maybe it's big, but the bow and the heart and the cross are decorated with a little turquoise cabochons. Here's the turquoise and gold necklace. It looks great with these gold beads. Very rich in color. These earrings are beautiful. It says vintage earrings. This pair of gold-mounted turquoise earrings comes from the British arts and crafts movement of the early 20th century. So we got some circular turquoise, what would you call those, discs in these golden settings. These look a lot like a frame to me, but shifted to be a diamond instead of a rectangle. I love the way the drops look, partially in gold and then turquoise. Very pretty. This pendant says it's from the Art Nouveau period, end of the 19th century. It's inlaid with gold. I wonder if they used the gold to fill flaws, maybe, or if they carved out some places specifically for it to go. There's a proverb here. A turquoise given by a loving hand carries with it happiness and good fortune. Arabic proverb. This is a diadem that has been reset with cabochons. It says it was originally set with emeralds, but in this painting, the artist has picked out the stones in red. So, when they say picked out, maybe they just decided to paint them as red and not green. The red does go nicely with everything. There's green in the drape behind her, but this is more of an olivine peridot kind of green, leaning yellow. Here we have the page for chalcedony. I think there was a specific kind of chalcedony that I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember. We talked about chalcedony last time. Ah yes, it was heliotrope and chrysoprase. So chalcedony can be a bunch of colors. This one shows heliotrope in the rough, so not cut or polished. This specimen consists of heliotrope, a green variety of chalcedony shot through with red patches of iron oxide, for which it is also known as bloodstone. Bloodstone is a birthstone, but it's not often used today for whatever month it is. I think this might be a traditional birthstone. At a few points in modern history, basically, some jewelers have gotten together and said, these are the birthstone options. And I know at one point, I want to say it was in the 1910s or 1930s, they wanted to chrysoprase. This gem chrysoprase specimen displays a beautiful, deep green color. Chrysoprase remains one of the most sought-after varieties of chalcedony. Oh, this watch case. It's carved from bloodstone. It looks really cool in that watch case. Oh yeah, we looked at this last time. This chrysoprase box. Very beautiful color of green. I said in the last video that I wasn't sure what a snuff box was, but I thought you stored tobacco in it, and I looked up while editing, and that is what it is. Not a very common thing to have in your home today. Diopside. It looks a lot like an emerald here, but it can vary in color. Ooh, I love the way this one looks. It looks like it's more than one color. Sort of deep true green, and then here it's more deep blue green. Diopside is one of the minerals found alongside diamonds in some kimberlites, an igneous rock generally occurring as dark bottle green, light green, brown, blue, or colorless stones. Rich green diopside, colored by chromium and known as chrome diopside, is faceted as a prized collector's gem and would potentially rival emerald in popularity, but for its softness. Stones of another rich hue, a violet blue, colored by manganese, are found in Italy and the US. These are sometimes called violane and are highly prized collector's gems. Oh, I like it as violane. That's pretty. Here they show that this one has a lot of flaws. They say it adds to the character and interest of the gemstone. Oh, hiddenite. So we talked about hiddenite in the last video. So I suppose I won't spend too much time on it, but I do think it's very beautiful. I really love the lighter mint shades of it. I believe it says that the more vivid stones are considered more valuable. But I like this one because it looks more unique. I like it as blue-green too. I was looking this up after filming the last video, and I noticed that this really seems to vary in price, so much so that it made me think that all the less expensive stuff must be fake. Because there was some hiddenite from, I believe, Afghanistan that was way more expensive than the hiddenite that did not have a location source listed. Oh, it looks like gunsite too. And there was something interesting about it that I don't think is said here on the page. And basically, it fades in color in the light over time. So I was wondering why more jewelry is not made with gunsite, because I think it's very pretty. It also seems really marketable and like sellable, like people would like this. But the fact that you would need to be careful about wearing it during the day if you didn't want it to fade and become clear. easily set off cleavage. So basically, it can not only be scratched easily because it's soft, but also the cleavage, it shatters. Kind of a break across lines. It's also very susceptible to mechanical shock and will shatter in an ultrasonic cleaner. So yeah, it's pretty fragile. It's not even cut in this jewelry piece. Maybe they're like, oh, let's not even bother. It's gonna shatter in the wrong direction. This one is cut. The inclusions here look really pretty. This is a beautiful gemstone. It's a shame it's so delicate. Tourmaline. I think I bookmarked this because I wanted to talk about watermelon tourmaline, which is probably on the next page. So this is one of those gemstones that can be a ton of different colors. Here we have green and pink tourmaline beads. You can see it blue there. Pear-shaped green tourmalines here. Little tourmaline spots on this salamander brooch. That's very cute. These have pink tourmalines. Those are so pretty. What are these? Rose quartz drops. So these are orchids and they have faceted pink tourmalines, pink sapphires, rhodolite garnets, and 24 diamonds. And then the 2 rose quartz drops. So probably watermelon tourmaline is here. This kind looks pretty green too. And then here it's quite green. This one is peridot tourmaline. Peridot tourmaline is relatively new to the gem market. It contains copper and has a neon look. A green example is shown here. Yellow and green in the rough. I really like pink and red tourmaline. So this can have concentric color zoning. When the center is pink and the outer is green, it is called watermelon tourmaline. So here's the watermelon tourmaline cut, faceted. And you can see how cool it looks, being half pink and half green. This is very popular in jewelry. I don't think that watermelon tourmaline is super common, but it's used pretty often in jewelry. It's very cool. It's easy to see why jewelers would want to make stuff with it, and it's designers, and why people would want to buy it. This lizard bird is gorgeous. Oh, I love that. Cat's eye tourmaline. Oh, here's an interesting crown set with tons of emeralds. Gosh, this is so intricate. I wonder how long it took to make this crown of the Andes. It says that in 1593, 24 goldsmiths began work on the crown. The crown was placed on a statue in 1599. A lot of work, and it's very pretty. jade-like vesuvianite. Vesuvianite is the new name for the mineral formerly called iodocrase. Indeed, transparent gemstone vesuvianite is still sometimes referred to as idiocrase. Its crystals are usually colored green or chartreuse, but a number of other colors are also found. Vesuvianite can incorporate various elements in its structure. For example, an unusual bismuth-bearing vesuvianite from Langbahn, Sweden is bright red, and a greenish-blue copper-bearing vesuvianite is called cyprine. So the green varieties, they lean yellow to me. Looks a bit acidic electric. This has a really nice sheen. This cabochon version. I feel like there must be kind of a lot of color variety, because even in this necklace there are a bunch of slightly different colors, so I wonder if it's a little hard to match. Okay, garnet. So garnets can be lots of different colors. We usually think of them as red. We can go more into this if we do the red gemstones. But I wanted to look at tsavorite garnets, these green ones as seen here on the seahorse. Really pretty, so many different colors. So this demantoid garnet looks green and yellow. Demantoid means diamond-like, so that is referring to the brilliance of the stone, very sparkly. This one, got a really light green here. Another demantoid garnet. And this gross yellow garnet. It's described as being nearly colorless, with a greenish tinge. I feel like it's pretty green, but it could be just the picture. It is very pale. Then green demantoid here. So it varies a lot, the green. And then tsavorite. I knew I was going to be talking about this today, so I tried to look up how to say it, and everybody said it differently. So I'm going with tsavorite because that is what a jeweler said in the video. Tsavorite is one of the most rare and most prized varieties of garnet. These ones lean really yellow. This one is much more true green, and I see this true green pretty often in jewelry. This looks pretty similar to an emerald, but it's not as naturally highly included, and it is considerably more, I think the word is tough. So I think technically in hardness, which is a measure of scratchability, so diamonds are the hardest gemstone and also the hardest naturally occurring mineral or material, I think, on Earth. It can scratch any other gemstone, and it's a 10 out of 10 on the Mohs scale of hardness. So then other gemstones are ranked on that scale. So I believe sapphires are a 9, and rubies too, they're the same mineral. Garnets are a 7 to 7.5, which is pretty good. But emeralds are technically higher in hardness, but they are not higher in toughness. They're kind of fragile and easy to chip or crack. So I believe tsavorite is significantly tougher and Okay, now we have moldavite. I'm not super familiar with this, but it looks awesome. It's so textured. It looks like coral in the rough, but electric green. Moldavites were formed 15 million years ago when a meteorite struck near modern Riez, Bavaria, melting the local sandstone. The substance is a tektite, the name for minerals formed when large meteorites hit Earth. Oh, the sprinkler's just one on that side. I don't know if you can hear that, but the terrestrial rock melts on impact, is splashed into the air, and quickly cools to form the glass-like substance. Tektites are found on most continents, but moldavite is local to the Riez impact point. It is typically olive green to dull greenish yellow, and is found in sizes ranging from less than a millimeter to several centimeters across. Well, no wonder it looks so cool. It's formed when a meteorite hits the Earth, and it's basically like we're getting a visual depiction of that impact. Gosh, it almost feels like a shame to facet it like this. But I mean, this one is also moldavite, so it seems like only some of it has that cool texture, that splatter. Here in the rough, during the flight of molten moldavite through the air, it assumes a number of shapes, such as this elongated form called a spindle. And here we have a carved horse head, where the man, they left the natural surface texture, and then they carved the horse head. Very creative. What a cool stone. I wonder how much of this there is. The Riez impact point. Well, we got through all of the iconic green and notably green gemstones. That last one, moldavite, very interesting. I'm gonna look up more about those kinds of stones that are formed at impact sites, including moldavite. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if there's another color you would like to see, or any particular stone. I love this color guide. So pretty. And this way, the blue, red, and pink, I think. Blue. this, please like,